So there's this thing I wanted to. There's this whole world that I want to expose you to, and I want to see how you feel about this universe. Okay. All right.
Jermaine is strong. He found he got an almighty push. But Breeze is not going hard. Because Breeze can go hard. He can. But this...
Is he blowing on it? What is that supposed to be? He's... What in the fuck? So, what the fuck is happening? That Leaf video actually was interesting because that's got me thinking, like, what the fuck? Unless he's just in parking lots walking around for hours and hours. Because there are those little eddies. I saw one time, and it was cool because I was with two people. I was getting my basement worked on at my house in Maine.
Sure.
I had a 600-foot driveway.
Right.
So we're standing down in the basement. We're just taking a break, having a beer. And we're talking, and then all of a sudden you just hear a breeze, and it was just because it was on the driveway. It looked awesome. This perfect little, I wouldn't call it a tornado, whatever, like a little, what would you call like a tiny volcano?
Like just like a little whirl. I don't know,
little
whirl thing. Yeah,
yeah.
We've all seen them.
It just picked up these leaves, and it just came right up my driveway, like it was a little tornado of leaves. It was like 10 feet high. There was like, a couple hundred leaves in it.
Yeah.
And then it just dropped them right at the end of my driveway. We were just all like, yeah. So then anyway, with this, do you see the tits on the... And then it just dropped, and we were like, that was fucking cool. Like, it wasn't like, whoa, that was magic. Oh, my God. But it was fucking cool. Like,
in New Mexico, they call them dust devils.
Dust devils, okay.
And it usually happens from, like, the different flows of air because, like, the different surfaces can be such a drastic temperature difference.
Like temperature for
causes like
cement versus
cement
asphalt
versus asphalt versus like different areas. So it just causes like the winds and stuff to shift around. And you'll be driving down the road in the middle of the desert in New Mexico, and you'll just see like they can get pretty big though. You see like 20, 30 feet in the air, just like a dust devil kind of whipping through.
Just because a bunch of air hit the asphalt and it just picked up. Yeah, it's got to be the change in temperature.
Temperature, and I think when it's like in your garage or something like that, the wind's blowing, and then like the way your house like catches it, and then it kind of like it's just one of those things where it usually happens like in a corner where like things are kind of trapped and stuff kind of just whirls around. Like if you look at the one where he's in Walmart. It's like right at the thing, and then like all the carts are right there. So it's just like this little area where like the wind blows in there correctly.
Well, so what's your explanation for that? That was a pretty cool one.
Everything. So obviously, the people that are doing like with the foil, this is it's telekinesis. This is what they all. Yeah. So I sent you a number of videos because it's not just one guy. It's like a whole group. It's a whole bunch of people that are doing this. Right. So for instance, this kid is. Watch, look at his. He makes his fucking nose bleed. See that?
I mean, so what do you think is happening? This is like they're fucking with the video.
So, here's what I say. I would love to believe. I would love to believe, but at the same time. It's one of those things like statistically by the books. Is it more likely that somebody's got telekinesis and are like moving water bottles and putting it online? Or is it more likely that the kid is just doing video tricks and stuff like that? And, by Occam's razor, the simpler of two explanations is usually
Occam's
true.
razor does explain a lot. But we just were talking about how do you know when someone is staring at you from 50 feet away? That's an amazing thing.
It is an amazing thing.
That is a form of telekinesis.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Is it a form of telekinesis?
How is anything being communicated when someone is
because
staring at
I think that's more in the lines of like observation and like what is consciousness, because there's an idea that consciousness exists outside the head. You know, it's not just in your brain. Like the consciousness is like everything you perceive. So like there's this idea that wherever you lay your consciousness, that's where it exists. So if I'm, for instance, like staring at this blanket, like my consciousness is kind of that blanket at the moment. And so if somebody like looks at you from a distance of far away, like there's this weird that's I think that's almost more in line, which is just as incredible and just as amazing and just as woo woo as telekinesis. But is it, dude? I mean, we've all experienced, here's the thing, we've all experienced somebody looking at us and we're like, what the fuck? Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever seen it in life? Have you ever had somebody like, have you?
No, but like how much more rare is it that someone's going to focus their consciousness on your ass and grab it from 50 feet away? Do you know what I mean? It probably happened hundreds of times
a day, all
hundreds
day.
of times, but not millions. Like people are looking.
So you're more inclined to be like, this might be real?
I mean,
here, let's look at some more of this.
I don't know.
Real.
I haven't seen like the Leaf one.
Yes.
The Leaf one was pretty good. So what is that's camera tricks, right? Maybe he just.
So the Leaf one, I would say he's just kind of like existing in his everyday life. And
he started his channel around that
like
video.
he's like walking around and he sees it happen, and then he just kind of gets in tune with nature enough to know when it's going to happen again.
Oh, so you go that far? He's
I would
clearly
say,
in tune with nature.
I would say,
this is
yeah.
not just total bullshit.
It's like a sailor. It's like a guy that can like look at the sky and be like, it's going to rain in 40 minutes, and you're like, there's not a cloud in the sky. 40 minutes later, it's fucking raining. There's a smell. There's a feel to the wind. There's like all these little micro things that your mind just kind of like subconsciously picks up on, and I would say it's more likely he's just like. He sees the way the wind is kind of moving, and he knows it enough to be like, okay, put my camera down, rush over. And because it's like as he squats down, it like starts right when he gets there. It's not like he has to sit there and work up any chi. He puts the camera down. It's almost like just as he gets there, and then it starts going. Like he almost didn't make it.
I gotta say, of the telekinesis shit we've seen so far, that was the coolest one because it looked the most like, you know, naturally occurring. Like he was,
like because it was pretty vicious. There was a lot of leaves. They were moving a lot.
So like, how would you even do that trick? You know what I mean? Like you'd have to like.
Like I said, I think it's.
Could you just create that with and then CGI someone in if you had a studio? Maybe you could. You'd have to like blow wind from underneath and above, or someone could do it. You know?
I think you could. I think any. This is like.
I mean, I don't know. Those ones aren't that impressive because I think it would be very easy to fucking
to fuck with that.
How many hours do you think you spent watching these telekinesis videos?
A few. Here's the other thing. The other thing I want to say is, it's almost exclusively black nerds. It's almost exclusively black dudes that are nerds. They're all like super into Naruto and like anime and shit like that. Almost exclusively.
That's interesting. You've identified such a crazy little.
It's such a niche, and the only other people that are kind of into it are like the super crystal chicks that are like channeling light energy. They're like they post videos like that. That's the only other people that are like, if you go to the comments, they're the ones that are like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I'm trying to do this too, right? But look, see this kid dressed up like Goku.
I mean, it is an amazing coincidence that he can channel his powers of telekinesis, and he also loves anime. I saw The Last Airbender, and then that allowed me to realize my full potential.
Yeah, dude, it's exclusively, all these guys are black nerds. So like the first guy that we watched where he was like doing the leaves and whatnot, I mean, he doesn't like walk around wearing the clothes as much, but if you read the caption, he's like, this is just like, and like name characters from anime and stuff like that. And even the way he tries to explain the way the telekinesis work, it's almost directly ripped off from an anime called Hunter x Hunter. So like, it's just, I don't know what happens or what like, but all of it.
Everyone's got to have some shit to get into, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like,
don't you have to have something? It can't just all be work and your wife bitching at you and fucking driving around and paying your fucking bills and buying clothes to put on.
You're right. Everyone's got to have a hobby.
It's a hobby.
Got to have a hobby, but
you know, when someone has a hobby that moves into like a passion, then that's better.
Sure,
that's better. Like just golfing is like passing the fucking time. Drinking, you can't be passionate about. Well, you can. It's called being a fucking alcoholic, and that's not good. But
I'm
like
very
you want to have a
passionate about
hobby
drinking.
that you're passionate about because you just
but
want.
not if you say you're like a wine enthusiast. That's a sneaky way to be an alcoholic.
I think wine enthusiast is not a good.
Like I brew my own beer. No, I'm all about the IPA and the hops, man. Like,
I find that the guys that brew their own beer, they drink like one beer. They don't even like alcohol.
Some of them get pretty shit faced. It's a sneaky way to cover up your alcoholism.
Is it sneaky?
Barb, shut the fuck up! I'm just sitting there
brewing. You're
fucking brew it. It's a hobby, you stupid bitch.
But a hobby that's got
Come
like
inside, sing happy birthday to your son. Shut the fuck up! I gotta have to sugar this fucking. Get the fuck inside.
It's 4:00. We're trying to have his cake. I'm fucking hammered. I told you I'm brewing.
I told you it's a hobby.
I mean, so alcohol aside,
Yep.
and maybe eating aside, something that like people do anyway. That's like it's not a passion. It's like a.
Dude, there are people that have eating as a hobby too. They're called foodies.
But those are not. Those are. You know what though? I guess that it could be a thing. If you're like, because I do know people that like enjoy alcohol and like all these subtle aspects of alcohol. I mean, if you're just fucking hammering beer, then that's just you just want to get fucked
Right.
up. And a wine enthusiast could be someone that's I love the bouquet and the
You're
aroma
supposed to
and
spit the wine
legs.
back into the glass, and
Right. And so those types of things, they're like what make life worth living.
I think
you know?
so. I think you're absolutely
so
right.
this dude, fucking man, go do your fucking thing.
So that's your thoughts and feelings. Is that this? Hey, man, to each his own. Do your own thing. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not. I
didn't even know
feel.
there was a thing. I love that you show me this shit where I'm like, I never in a million years
would have seen.
You have a million hours on the internet. Go find this thing. I never would have.
You never would have found black nerd telekinetics.
Never would have found telekinetics.
Telekinetics.
It definitely would not have looked into it enough to identify there's a pattern. And
There's
they love
a
Naruto.
distinct pattern. If you notice,
Is it Naruto or Naruto?
Yes. Yeah.
All right,
that's what it is.
I'm sorry.
It's literally. It's just I don't like people that nitpick over how to say foreign words.
Right.
Like, oh, you're supposed to say it foreign.
Right.
Like that. Like when somebody's like, I'll have the capicola, and they're like, you mean the capicola?
Capicola. Yeah.
It's like, dude, if I go to Italy, those
Right.
motherfuckers aren't saying McDonald's. They're saying a McDonald's. A McDonald's. You think, am I supposed to go, motherfucker, it's McDonald's.
It's McDonald's.
It's McDonald's,
God damn it.
you uncultured fucking dickhead.
I took an English class in college. It was the modern European novel, and one of the books was by Vladimir Nabokov. But that was the first time I'd ever heard it pronounced like that. He's the guy that wrote Lolita. He wrote a bunch of stuff, but Lolita was one that.
Oh, there's a fire in my loins.
Yeah, and the Police did the song "Don't Stand So Close to Me." Don't stand so. That song is about a teacher, which is fucking crazy. It's about a teacher who a chick student of his hitting on.
Nice.
She's like coming at him.
Cool.
And he says, there's a line in it where it just rhymes. So he says, just like that old man in that book by Nabokov. So I'm like, okay, that's how you say it, Nabokov. And then the teacher was like, no, it's Nabokov. And I was
I'm
like,
sorry, I listened.
I would have been
I
so
learned it from the
embarrassed.
Police.
I learned it from the Police, like everyone else. And I was like, I'm so glad I was the first one to say it because the kid said it. You know, I like the book by Nabokov. She's like, it's Nabokov. We've all heard the Police. You're a jerk off. She like sawed him down so much, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
man.
and then you immediately jumped on her side too. So when it's your time to
Fucking
turn,
idiot.
you're like, yeah. Anyway, Nabokov, this guy. Can you believe him?
So anyway,
so
Nabokov over here. You fucking believe this asshole?
learned it from the Police. What an uncultured dickhead.
Maybe we should just put the fucking radio on, you fucking jerk.
Fucking
Yeah,
dumbass.
that's how it is in Massachusetts. by the way.
Dumbass.
Everything gets piled on so bad.
It is, but I mean that's it's like people get so pretentious with how to say things,
Yeah.
and how to say words. It's like, when I said spaghetti, did you know I was talking? What did it confuse you and you thought I was saying something else?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. So then why the fuck are you? It's like I communicated the word, and that's I hate it. I hate it so much that people nitpick. So yeah, Naruto. Same fucking thing, and anybody
Because
that
I say it all the time, and I never know if I'm saying it the right way. And I'm talking about Naruto all the time.